So I asked Jeremy to do a water cooler episode with me, which basically takes all the pressure off of delivering actionable insights and just catch up on what we're noticing with cold outreach in a informal chat, usually with beverages. And yet, yeah, salute. And yet, the topic I'm going to bring up first,
I have no idea.
thinking like Jeremy has no idea, but this is
What
going to
do you
be
want to
like
talk about?
this is going to be about the water cooler that I thought was going to blow up, but ended up being one of our more like popular episodes about like the story of personalization in person, which
Oh, the book stuff and
yeah, the
brief.
book
Yeah, that was
stuff,
a good
right?
one.
Mm. No, it has to do with getting a date on outreach, getting a date with
Ooh,
outreach.
okay, okay.
Yeah,
Well, actually,
right.
that's your audience, male 20 to 30. Go for it. I'm
Yeah.
kidding. I have no
So
idea.
what is it's a weird topic. Um, and yet I think there's an underlying sales takeaway here. Let's see. Maybe it's going to crash and burn. But a couple of weeks ago, Jeremy, I wanted to push the limits of how many invites could I send on LinkedIn for connection requests. And
Okay.
so I built a list of 500. I was going to try and do it all 500 over like a 7 day period.
Hmm.
Um, and I won't get into the outcome of that, but I basically was able to send a lot more invites than I thought. And the list I built, Jeremy, it was very broad. It was just CEO and founder titles in my city. Okay, so I'm in Miami, so I just built this list. On Sales Navigator with two filters, which is like best practice what not to do. And but I needed a lot of names, right? So I just pulled it together. Any industry didn't matter, and I sent um, two kinds of invites, but the majority of them were just blank. Right, nothing was said. Um, and after I reached out to 500 people, I was going through some of the responses, and just bear something in mind, like a blank connection request
Means no
um,
message, no
and
personalization
no follow
whatsoever.
up. Exactly. Sent to 500 people that were not targeted or qualified outside of the fact that they owned a business. And I got two business inquiries from people that accepted my invite, took a look at my profile, and said, "Hey, I think we should talk." And I also got somebody asking to, like, sending a flirty message, asking if I would join them for coffee, wink, wink, whatever. And it just got me thinking, like, I didn't even try and get these responses. I don't know if you want to put that timer up there,
Oh
just to
yeah.
keep us honest. Yeah. And yet it obviously achieved a, a result because the timing was perfect at said individuals. And it made me think, like, why aren't we doing more outreach in general, knowing that half of a percent, what is that, Jeremy? What is 2 out of 500? If it's 1 out of 500, that's 0.2 of a percent. So
I
like
don't
zero point 0.4 of
calculate
a
live
percent.
on podcast, my
That's okay.
friend.
So I think it's 0.4 of a percent
Right.
is looking to buy from you.
Mm.
So how can we use that to our advantage? How,
Yeah.
and does it not motivate you to want to just do a bunch more outreach if you could just do it in the right
But
way?
isn't that actually the point of advertisement? It's just to put yourself out there, right? So people have an exposure and a chance to buy at the right time.
Like
So
a billboard?
yeah, exactly, right? Have you tried a billboard in Miami? Could be
No,
fun to
no, I haven't.
try. Who
I've
knows?
done when I was in high school, I did the flyers on car windshields and like
Oh,
door
nice.
knocking. Yeah.
Nice.
Um,
How
and
did
they
that
probably
go?
had about the same conversion rate. Like,
Yeah,
you put out
right?
500 flyers, you will get a call.
There you go.
Just
And just curiosity, like a few episodes ago, we talked about like, hey, changing your headlines for your
right,
title on LinkedIn. Did
right.
you do that?
No, it was not even an afterthought of what, like, it was intentionally optimized only to see what would break the limits, not trying to be generating business, which is weird, right? Like, most campaigns are so intentional about driving business that this experiment I'm bringing up sounds kind of dumb to run, and yet it still produced two results. So like, what do you take from that? Is that just an anomaly, or you say it's like advertising, but like,
Yeah, I think
what does it
so.
mean?
It's like, there's some tools that used to do that where it's just like honestly what it does is just simply like
Right.
visiting profiles and stuff.
It's a duck soup that would
Yeah,
just
something like
visit
that, right?
profiles.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. It was just visiting profile and it worked. Like because people are like, they're looking at, who's looking at my
Spot
profile
on.
type of thing.
Spot
So it
on.
works for some people. Will you
And
get
yet you
me?
can
Hell
do
no, I
that.
don't care. I don't even look at that.
Right.
But if you send me an
That's
invite, I will see you. So,
now I'll share in the cold email world. I did a test. This is years back, but it's relevant where I reached out to CEOs. This was for my enterprise software list at the time. And I just sent them a compliment about what they were building. Like and I did it 100 times. Um, 1 out of 100 saw my email signature, visited my website, and said we should talk about lead gen.
wow, that's a
And
small number.
it's a small number. It's a small number. But notice that the email had nothing to do with how I could help them,
Yeah, of course.
credibility, um, call to action. It failed on all accounts, and yet I'm sure the spam complaint was nearly zero. So the cost in terms of reputation, I think, was nil.
Yeah, but your personalization was actually spot on, right? Ace, even. Like if you're just thinking of writing a compliment to someone, what a
Yeah.
better personalization can you have, right?
So is that not a good reason to test like a soft step one? It could be a profile view or a straight up complimentary email, and that's it. Give them a 3-day wait and then approach them with more of a
Right.
proper cold outreach. What's there?
I don't know. I mean, I'm the target of that, which is basically, someone send me like an invite and I will just accept it. And then 3 weeks later or like next week or whatever, it's just like, oh yeah, right.
No, but that's
Just
basic.
wanted
That's
to.
basic. That's basic.
Yeah.
I'm
So what
not
you're
thinking
thinking?
about that. I'm thinking more like the one-liner compliment email, or not even sending an invite, just literally showing up on. I mean, it's an interesting thought, but if it converts at 0.5% and it's and the math works out where it's cheap enough to do in order to produce ROI, like,
You know
why
what I'm
isn't that a
thinking?
first
Yeah, sorry,
step?
go ahead. Yeah, yeah. I'm thinking like you make me think of something that actually does work is like when you ask people for advice, right? And then you're just like, hey, I'm looking for, like, for example, Jack, let's say, for example, I'm a SEO expert, okay? And I'm reaching out to you and say, hey, absolutely love the podcast, love what you're doing. I just have like one simple, quick question. And then my question is just about cold email. Like, hey, you were mentioning that in the previous episode. I was wondering if you think that this or this. That's it, like nothing more. And then you
Right.
would effectively just say like, oh, who's this guy? Like it starts, on a good note. It's like, oh, that's nice. I receive a compliment.
Yeah.
It's an interesting question. I'm interested then suddenly in that person a bit more. And then you will probably look at a signature and say, oh, well, I could benefit from SEO. Like, let's just have a chat. You know what I mean? So that could still work. But
So
again, it's putting yourself out there, but on the, positive spin, shall I say.
you're right. Now, I've actually made a purchase from the buyer's side on that angle there. I don't know if I could use the company name, but think about it like a better MailChimp for traditional email marketing. The founder of
Hmm.
that company was he booked a sales call with SalesBread in order to like drive leads for them. And before that call was done, I had booked a call with them to find out if I should be using their email marketing platform. And I've been using them for 3 years now. And so his entry point was, I'm the founder of this company and need some leads. Let's talk. And what
Okay,
ended
and
up
then you end
happening with
up
that
being,
conversation?
yeah, exactly, right?
Right.
That, that's how it works.
So,
Right.
okay, fine. But let's say like this is not for everyone right away. This has to be probably only for things that are extremely high value to warrant a potentially time wasting call. It's probably also not for every prospect. Like imagine if I mean, I just tell you on that LinkedIn experiment I opened up the water cooler chat with. I didn't take one of those meetings because I just didn't think we were a good fit. That's great that they were interested, but it wasn't for me. And so I think
Yeah.
we as a salesperson, you always have that in your back pocket to give notice that you will not be attending this meeting. So, right, like you can cast a wider net and then refine based on what happens.
Reminds me of our bet, you remember, about like who can get a reply from Mark Cuban? And they like,
I think we both did. I think we
yes, we
both did.
did. It is. That was
It's
pretty cool.
if you want to like fluff your ego feathers, shoot a message over to the cubes and you'll probably get a reply.
Yeah,
Oh
or Derek
wow.
Silver, both of
Okay.
those. Yeah.
I'm gonna change the topic.
Oh yeah,
And
okay,
I
go for it.
should
It's
have
a water
just
cooler. Who
opened with
cares?
this. I should have opened with this.
Tell me.
Now I'm mad at myself. All right. If you stuck around for the past 8 minutes, this is the payoff. Okay. So Dan Martell, shout out. He was a guest of the show and he ended up on my outreach campaigns to
That's true. I
some
remember.
Canadian
Yeah.
entrepreneurs.
Mhm.
No. This is new.
Oh, a
This is
new
new.
thing. Okay, okay, cool.
Yeah. This happened this week.
Oh,
And
no way.
I got Dan Martell's reply and it was genius. It was genius. I can't.
Tell us.
Can we just cut the water cooler so this is like starting at the beginning? Ugh. Anyways, like imagine this. So we reach out to Dan Martell via LinkedIn as a first step through a connection request. And this clever guy, and I'm sharing very complimentarily, right? I think this was genius. So Dan, well done. As soon as he got the prompt, which I will say, like uniquely, we were very transparent about what we were after on this connection request, right? And yet Dan's response was, "Hey, name, new line, great to connect, new line." It's as if he sent it like one right after the other. "Hey, name, great to connect. Just curious, are you here for the connection/content, or are you looking to grow company name? Question mark."
That's nice because he's
It's
obviously
like,
helping
that's
companies to grow.
genius.
Yeah.
Yes. I'm like, what a smart thing to be doing.
It's probably
And
automated too, right?
I would imagine an assistant did it. It's fine, right? And like depending what the response is, it's probably if there's no response, then they get one treatment. If there's
Yeah, I
looking to
do like
grow,
that.
there's one treatment. And if they're just there for content, they get another treatment. And it's so helpful, I think, to be proactive, especially if you're like a growth consultant, really. How good is that?
What I'm thinking, we have something in QuickMail that says when a connections request is accepted, you can create a lead. I could put them into a campaign and send effectively those 3 messages, right? One after the other. I like that. I'm gonna try that.
Right. Yeah. And
Right.
I would imagine that it's not for any inbound connection request. I'm sure that the job title has to be a certain thing. Otherwise, you'd be wasting your time with podcast promoters or something.
Yeah, well, I could always ask like, hey, how you in for, because you need something like, or like, or cold
Yeah.
outreach. So
But
anyway, that
I
could be
was like,
fun.
that's a very interesting way to handle that. I see you reset the clock.
Yes.
It it's more like a quick like tactic, but I think that's genius.
Hmm,
What do you
I
got,
like it
Jeremy?
too.
What's going on? Yeah.
What's going on in the world of cold outreach? Well, like I was mentioning to you earlier, when I was, sharing my screen, we got, 30% reply rates on one campaign. But the crazy thing is the campaign is absolutely not personalized. There's nothing personalized. Just a list is to
That's not
some
crazy.
extent.
That's not crazy.
I think it is like a
Uh,
third of them replying. I
really?
think it's pretty good.
For
Those
no
days, it's pretty good.
personalization?
We did a benchmark episode. We're way above,
Yeah,
top
yeah,
10%,
yeah.
man.
Yeah. So I think if you have a lot of value or you've got something that is intriguing, like a new thing,
Yeah.
you might not need a lot of personalization. I mean, the thing is like personalization never hurts.
Unless
But
it's done by AI.
Isn't that the truth? Oh my, I just had a call today, Jeremy. Somebody said, um, we need help with outreach. I said, okay, great. They came from the podcast.
Oh,
So
nice.
shout out to Camille in San Jose. Nice
Ooh,
chatting with you. Yep.
nice.
I hope I'm saying the name right. But she said that she's like, yeah, I know I'm cheating, but I'm using like ChatGPT to like review the website and come up with something clever. And she's like, and yet here we are. We need to move the needle and get more meetings, or else this is not going to be ending well. So what's going on with ChatGPT? Are you feeling the tides turn, or is it more the same?
Oh, that's a good question. I think it normalized a bit, and I think people are using it in kind of like better ways. You remember you told me like about, how you were using it to remove LLC and stuff like that. Like that becomes like norm
I
now.
did not use ChatGPT to
Well, not
remove
ChatGPT. You
LLC.
use differently things, but
It
people are now
was
starting to use it for
it
for
was a
that.
Python library called CleanCo, I believe.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Um, yeah, and I mean, it's just intelligent enough to chunk it out without having to write a prompt, and it's cheap. It's always going to be cheaper than
Uh, uh,
ChatGPT to use a library.
that's true.
Um, okay, like to clean up a company name, right?
Yeah, clean up the company name. They use it also. I mean, it's a bit old now. It's probably like 6 months or 8 months old, but they use it also to prompt some ideas of how to improve a website or improve something. Sorry, or improve
Did
something.
you see the AI landing page teardown?
No, but that sounds like a
Okay,
great idea, actually.
it's an app that gives angry teardowns. Like it oh, it's called a landing page roast. Yeah, you can
Oh
Google it.
yeah,
It's
okay.
like AI landing page roast, and you can give it a landing page, and it's actually kind of funny.
I should
It will
try
say
that.
what's wrong with it. It's good. That's a good use
Did you get
case. And
roasted?
yet, no, I just saw it on a post and I was like kind of laughing. I'm not sure how I would use that other than actually, let's pause. How would you use that?
I think it's personal stuff. Like if ChatGPT can actually summary your page, I think that's a good example of something that, okay, the communication is good on this page. Or to actually get what's like I would use it this way. I will basically ask ChatGPT to read your page and figure out what's important for this person, right? And maybe that'll be like, I don't know, reliability, robustness, or good service,
Mm,
whatever. And then I will use
right,
that, in my copy, what I like somehow. Seems like X is important to you, you know.
right.
Hey, I
Yeah, that
was
could
I was
be.
checking your website, Jai. It seems like, reliability or like, good outreach, quality, whatever is important to you.
That'd make me
You know.
puke and delete. Are you kidding? I have a lead gen agency. Yeah, no
I should I
kidding.
should I should create like a fake account and try to outreach you and get, well, but I will come to your VA or whatever. So that doesn't quite work.
Um,
Can I
yeah,
actually get
I
you?
got gay peepers. I got gay peepers now.
Yeah, I know you do.
Uh,
I don't.
I
You could
don't.
still try, but I'm a tough cookie. It'd be fun. Try to impersonate some, a random account and try to get a reply from me.
It's not. It wouldn't be hard. It wouldn't be hard if
Ooh,
you were
okay.
selling the right thing,
Right,
right?
right.
I'll give you a dumb example. If you say, is
Could
this
get
via
me with
email?
mouse and whisker, you know.
And
How
let's
much is your
define
plan?
mouse and whisker.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I, I also don't believe in like jumping into pricing for people that are like, I would check your website. I would say like, are they really legitimate for sales spread caliber? And if your single landing page that didn't link back to a LinkedIn company page or something with some sort of a team, you might not get past that, even mouse and whisker. I think the idea is like, you're probably doing too much for too many people. And so you need to like ratchet down what you're saying yes to, um,
Hmm.
and cancel some sales calls. Uh, I think that's some medicine we should all take a little bit more of.
Yeah, one thing we're doing that is very, very, very good is obviously on our people can actually contact us for, demo calls and stuff like that. But obviously you have a sort of form before, so if they actually are a certain fit and it's worth,
It.
going on a call with them because they're
That's
a good
right.
fit, right?
That's right.
Like not going to jump on a call for $49 a month, type of plan. That makes no sense.
Exactly. Yeah. So it's like sales qualification process, kind of underrated because I think I would be surprised if there's a podcast all about sales qualification because it's a topic that nobody cares. Like I guess we care about it, but like it's not sexy. It's not gonna like get clicks or something. And yet it really helps allocate the salesperson's time and the few areas that really move the needle. So I don't know how we got here, but sales qualification is very cool, guys.
Yeah.
It's very cool.
Yeah.
30 seconds. Let's just run this clock out.
All right. So let's just wait here. Not doing anything.
Yeah, we'll wait here.
Oh, actually, I have a sad news. One of our clients has been with us for a very long time. Closed shop this
Is that right?
this week. Yeah, and I was sad. There's 30 people going, no job for them. So it's pretty
Did
rough.
they sell? They retired?
No, I think that it is just I think that becomes like too hard for them, the game, and they're pivoting to a different business. So it's sad. But they were there for the golden rush, so they were used to 40% reply rate and stuff. So not the same game anymore.
Not the same game, guys. You went a sad route. I was going to go for a joke to round out the clock.
Go for it. That's much better.
Yeah. No,
ignore my sad story.
I was actually in a hot sauce eating contest over the weekend, Jeremy. Yeah. I got second place, but did you hear what happened to the winner?
No, what happens?
He had to go to the sauce-spital.
Oh, okay, that was a joke. You got me here. I really thought you were into okay, fair enough. Okay, that's really bad. I think we should have stopped with my sad story. At least it was real. I didn't take you on an emotional ride.
Hey, I'm just gonna cover the brand here. Nobody saw that.
All right. I'm
almost
done.
Love the water cooler,
but fair enough.
Got to get back to the grindstone. Thanks for hanging out the water cooler with me. And if you're still listening, shouldn't you go back to work or something?
Yeah, I mean, it's probably, people are telling that they're just listening to us on the background, until we say something actionable, which sometimes happens. Anyway.
I know you're on your treadmill and you can't actually reach for your iPhone to pause this nonsense. All right, Jeremy, that was fun for me.
All right. Thank
you, man.
I appreciate it.
See ya.
Bye.